Hello everyone, Marwan here. Today I'm going to show you 12 Mac apps that completely change my productivity and my workflow. And I'm not going to go over the usual apps that everybody already knows about. These are lesser known apps I genuinely use every single day and that I honestly could not live without. So anyways, I hate long intros, so let's get straight to it. Alright, so the first up of this list is Paste. Now, this app gives you a complete history of everything you've copied, and it's a total game changer. You know how normally when you copy something, then you copy something else, the first thing is gone forever? Well, Paste fixes that problem completely. I just hit Command plus Option plus V on my keyboards, and I get this beautiful interface showing everything I've copied recently. It can actually go up to 3 weeks of history. And the best part is it works for everything. Text, images, links, code snippets, whatever. Like right now, for example, I'm working on a keynote presentation, and if I copy this image of myself, Paste saves it with a preview so that I can find it later. Quite truthfully, I don't understand why Apple doesn't build this into macOS by default, because it's one of those apps that once you start using it, you just can't imagine working or even living without it. Alright, so next up is Hidden Me. Super simple app, but makes a huge difference in my opinion. What it does is hide all the icons on your desktop with just one click. I use it mainly because I love having a clean, minimal desktop. It helps me focus and just looks better, but some people use it for privacy when they're sharing their screen. But for me, it's just purely for aesthetic reasons. When I'm recording my screen for Instagram Reels or YouTube videos, I don't want all those random files cluttering up the background. One click and everything disappears. One more click and it all comes back. Simple, but super effective. This next app is called Vivid, and it unlocks the full brightness potential of newer MacBooks. So here's something most people don't know. The recent high-end MacBooks can actually go up to 1600 nits of brightness, but Apple only lets you access that extra brightness when you're watching HDR content. I discovered this when I was working outside in Dubai and I just couldn't see my screen properly even at max brightness. Then I checked the specs and saw my MacBook was capable of much more. Vivid basically tricks your Mac into thinking everything is HDR content, unlocking that extra brightness whenever you want it. I just click this menu bar icon, enable Vivid, and boom. My screen gets noticeably brighter. Total game changer when you're working in bright environments or just outside in general. Just be aware because it will drain your battery faster, but the trade-off is worth it for me. Number 4 is Handbrake, which is absolutely essential if you're a content creator like me. It's basically the best video compressor out there. When I have a video file that's way too big to upload or send to someone, I drop into Handbrake, select the 1080p 30 presets, and it shrinks the file size dramatically while keeping decent quality. I use this all the time when I'm sending draft videos to clients for brand deals or when I need to upload something quickly on slower internet. The interface looks a bit technical at first, but you really only need to know a few settings to get great results. Absolute must-have for anyone working with videos. Next up is Surfshark VPN. This is not sponsored by them, by the way, but I use it daily, and to me that's the best VPN out there. Living in Dubai now, there's some occasional websites or services that are restricted, and so Surfshark just lets me access everything I need, and it also protects my data when I'm working from coffee shops or just using public Wi-Fi. So it's pretty much a win-win situation. And the app is super simple, just click and connect. I've tried a bunch of VPNs and this one has the best balance of speed, security, and ease of use for me. Alright, now I want to talk about something that's completely changed how I think about Mac apps. Setapp. Setapp gives you access to over 250 premium Mac apps under a single monthly subscription. We're talking about $10,000 worth of software all included in one simple plan. It's kind of insane when you think about it. Some of the apps I'm showing you today are actually included in Setapp, which makes it an even better deal. Now normally they offer a 7-day free trial, but I partnered with them for this video to get you guys a full 30-day trial instead. Just click the link in my description and you can try it out for a full month with no commitments. I genuinely use Setapp every single day and it saved me hundreds and hundreds of dollars in software. Alright, so next is the official ChatGPT Mac app. Most people don't even know this exists and just use ChatGPT in the browser, but the difference in performance is night and day. The browser version can be really sluggish, especially with longer conversations. This native app is way faster and more responsive. It also gives you desktop notifications, keyboard shortcuts, and just integrates better with your workflow. I use ChatGPT constantly for brainstorming new content ideas, editing captions, and researching topics, so having the dedicated apps makes a huge difference. Oh, and also it's completely free to download, so if you already have a ChatGPT account, definitely check it out. Number 8 is Screen Studio, which has completely elevated my Instagram and YouTube content. When I'm showcasing AI tools or websites in my content, I don't want just a basic screen recording. Screen Studio adds these beautiful smooth camera movements that follow your cursor, professional looking backgrounds, and makes everything look so much more polished and clean. The difference between a basic QuickTime screen recording and what Screen Studio produces is massive. My engagement on tutorial side content went up significantly after I started using this. It's super intuitive as well. You just set up a few settings and hit record. The results look like you spend hours editing when it's actually all done automatically. Numi is probably the app I show to people the most because it's just so damn clever. It looks like a super minimal calculator, but it's actually way more powerful. It understands natural language and units, so I can type stuff like 10 USD to euro and it will instantly convert it. For example, I can also write 10K instead of 10,000 or 1 mil instead of 1 million, and it understands exactly what I mean. You can even mix calculations with text, so I can write something like monthly revenue 10K minus expenses 3.5K pay is equal to profit, and it will calculate the profit automatically. For someone who deals with numbers all day but hates traditional calculators, Nume is perfect. It's one of those apps that just thinks the way you do. Email is a necessary evil for most people, and Mailspring makes it slightly less painful. The default mail app on Mac is honestly pretty terrible in my opinion. Mailspring is faster, has a cleaner interface, and comes with features like read receipts so you can see when someone has opened your mail. This is super useful when I'm following up with brands for deals. I can see if they've actually opened my email or if I need to try a different approach. It also has better search functionality, which is crucial when trying to find that one email from 3 months ago with important information. So if you deal with a lot of email, switching to Mailspring will save you hours of frustration every single month. The notch on recent MacBooks is controversial, but Notch Nook actually makes it useful. It basically turns that dead space around the notch into a customizable control center. You can add shortcuts, control your music, see your calendar events, and a bunch of other things. Feels like something Apple should have built themselves. The integration is so seamless, you'd think Apple did this by themselves. I have mine set up with music controls and a few custom shortcuts I use all the time. It takes that somewhat annoying design feature and turns it into something genuinely useful. Finally, Permute, which is the fastest file converter I've ever used. As a content creator, I'm constantly converting files between different formats. Videos, images, audio files, it never ends. Permute makes this process ridiculously simple. You just drag in any file, select what format you want to convert it to, click start, and install it almost instantly. No complicated settings, no waiting around. I've converted 4K videos in seconds with this thing. It supports pretty much every format you can think of, and the interface is super clean and simple to understand. So there you have it, the 12 Mac apps I absolutely can't live without as a content creator. Now each of them solves a specific problem in my workflow, and together they probably saved me hundreds of hours of work. Now remember that if you want to try Setup and get access to tons of premium Mac apps under one subscription, including most of the ones I mentioned here, check out my link in the description for a 30-day free trial. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.